Hey YouTube, it's BudgetBugout. Today I'm going to be going over what I believe are the 10 best multi-tools on the market. Welcome to BudgetBugout. Hey guys, thanks for watching. So I wish that there was a video like this whenever I first started shopping around for multi-tools. So that's kind of why I'm making this. There's going to be 6 large multi-tools that I'm covering, as well as 2 medium-sized and 2 keychain size multi-tools. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I'll be covering the my thoughts and feelings on the different multi-tools, as well as talking about the price, and I'll be annotating the dimensions such as the weight and length and things like that. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is the Leatherman Wingman. This is $28, so this would be perfect for someone who is just starting off, but maybe you're not sure if you want to invest in multi-tools, but you are curious what it would be like to carry one. With it, I have a Leatherman sheath. This sheath I did pay extra for. I think it was like $8. I'll leave a link in the description box for it as well. All of these items, links will be in the description box. So let's go ahead and dive in. As you can see, this does have a pocket clip. I do like having a pocket clip on a multi-tool. I think it's pretty useful. There is another pocket clip that I'll mention in a little bit that I do like better than this. But for the price and size, it's really hard to beat. This is also one of the few multi-tools that I have that's this form factor and has a spring assist pliers, spring assist pliers. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit more on the pliers. So these are going to be just like all the other pliers that you see here. You know, it has needle nose as well as regular pliers, as well as wire cutter. So I'm just not going to be mentioning that past this. They all have those. The only thing is that this one, the needle nose don't touch each other. I don't know if you guys can see that. I mean, see it. Sorry, the wire cutters don't touch. So that's something that doesn't really bother me because I don't go around cutting wires all the time. You might be wondering, you know, if this is as cheap as it is why would I want to upgrade to another one? Well, maybe you won't, but you can tell just by kind of putting a lot of torque on this that it just isn't doesn't have the same build quality as the ones that are going to be more expensive, and that's to be expected. So from the close position, you do have access to the knife. This is a combo edge knife, so it has serrated edges as well as a plain edge. I like the shape of this a lot. But for those of you who maybe you don't want a combo edge, maybe you don't like serrations, you can get the Leatherman Sidekick, which is basically its brother, and instead of a combo edge, it has a straight edge, and instead of scissors, it has a saw. So, but I believe that this one is better for everyday carry. Maybe the other one would be good for in the wood. So I'll annotate that too if you want more information on it. I'll leave a link for it. But this has a really good pair of scissors on it. I will have to say though that it has to be completely open for the scissors to work. So just kind of keep that in mind. That has a liner lock for securing the outside tools out. I already talked about the pliers. The other tools that are in this, we have flathead and Phillips. We also have looks like a can opener. I believe you can use this as a bottle opener and a can opener. I haven't really tested it out, to be honest. It also has a nail file with a ruler on that side, and it also has a box opener, which is great for opening those those plastic containers. It's pesky plastic containers. So this is, I think this would be a great tool for those of you who are just starting out. Moving on, this is the Victorinox Spirit. The cost on this is going to be $99, so this is definitely more of an investment than the previous one. I got the one with the leather sheath. If you buy the one with the nylon sheath, it reduces the price by $10. I do like it. The Velcro is a little bit different for a leather sheath. You can see in comparison to this is how normally sheaths are in my experience, but I do like it though. So moving on, you notice that the Wingman had tools that you can access from the outside. Well, this one, all of the tools you can access from the outside. So let's just go ahead and look at those right now. Just start with this one since it's the one on the outside. This is another file. This is a nail file, and then it has a way you can make grooves for it because it has it's a three-sided file. There's a coarse and a fine edge. The critiques that I've heard about the nail file is that it's hard to tell which one is the coarse side and which one is the fine side. But I don't, unless you're a nail file aficionado, you're really not going to notice. I'm trying to do this through a viewfinder, so sorry if I'm messing up here. Anyways, let's just talk about these ones first. We have a can opener, and this is actually one of the best can openers that you find on a multi-tool. That does bring up another point, is that multi-tools are compromises. So there's going to be other can openers and other screwdrivers that are going to be better if that's all they do. But what multi-tools do is they add versatility. We also have a flat head right there. We also have the Phillips head, and this is I like that you can the length on this, it's more useful. You can reach farther, and the fact that it's three-dimensional is better in my opinion. And it also has just a smaller flat head as well. And now over here we have scissors. This is as far open as the scissors go, so just kind of keep that in mind. I do like the lockup mechanism on this, very user friendly. I like the fact that you can just kind of put the scissors back in there. You don't have to fold them in any particular manner for them to go back in. Here we have the saw blade. This is double toothed. All of these are going to be double toothed, but this one this has a push or pull. You can use both those methods to utilize it. Here we have an awl and also a hook. I haven't really needed to use the hook, but I have been able to use the awl. The awl is very useful. This is a wire bender. I'm not quite sure the usefulness of that. Also got a bottle opener. So it's good to have a dedicated bottle opener as well as a dedicated can opener. Some of the other ones have to compromise on that. Here we have another box opener, excellent with plastic containers, and this looks like a serrated edge, but this is basically wire strippers, but it can be used like a serrated edge. I have used it as that. And then here we have the knife. Moving on, I really love how smooth this is, and the ergonomic feel of this is probably one of my most favorite multi-tools as far as the ergonomics are concerned, especially for this form factor. No skin to get, you don't have to worry about your skin getting squeezed in there or get caught in there. Regular type of pliers. This is a little bit more blunt than some of the other ones on the table, but really nothing else to say other than for the pliers. The fit and finish on this, as you can see, is a satin, very smooth. So this is going to be good for everyday carry, but if you're someone who carries every day in the outdoors, then maybe this might be a little too slick for you. Moving on to the Gerber Diesel. The sheath on this is probably one of my least favorites as for everyday carry, but you can definitely use this in a military or law enforcement use. The pliers themselves, you cannot access any of the tools from the outside, but what you can do is you can open it one-handed. So once again, if you're military, law enforcement, that might appeal to you. There's not much really to add for the pliers. I haven't said about the other ones. I will say it is kind of a drawback, the opening it. Using the tools, it is a little bit less user friendly because you can't close the multi-tool, after you use this, just because of how it opens. So that is one of the compromises that is made for this form factor. Another con would just be, and I'm not going to list just nothing but cons or anything, but just because it came up, the scissors on this is I'd have to say it's probably the worst scissors of all of the ones that are on the table. It just doesn't cut plastic through plastic, thin plastic very well, and that's one of the tests that I put these things through. It cuts through paper, you know, like card stock just fine though. Here we got a saw blade. The other tools, the way that you're going to have to access them is if you have strong enough nails, you can pull them out. Maybe I need to drink more green tea, I don't know. But it is going to be a little bit difficult to open them up individually. But here we have a bottle opener and can opener, as well as a flathead. And let's see here, I'm going to have to open this like this. Let me just look. Oh, that's the lanyard. So there is a lanyard that you can use if you guys like lanyards on your multi-tools, like that one. Moving on, which side was it? Oh, and one of the other benefits for this is that you can tell what tool is on that side. So it's pretty cool. Both sides are like that. I like the knife on this. This is actually one of my favorite knife blades on a multi-tool. Some of y'all don't like serrations, but I think this is a great knife. I like serrations because it adds more usefulness to a multi-tool. And multi-tools, and that's when you want to have serrations, in my opinion, because you might, if you're someone who you care about serrations, and you're probably like a knife snob like me, and you probably already have a knife on your keychain or in your pocket. Nail file is actually one of the better ones in my opinion, at least for the coarse type. Once again, it's hard to open these without fearing bending your nail. Let me fan these out. We got flathead, Phillips, another flathead. Okay, so that is the Gerber diesel. The price on this is $40. Next one I'm going to be talking about is the SOG POWERLOCK. I like the sheath on this, especially the belt clip on it. This enables you to be able to take the sheath off or add it to your belt without having to remove the belt itself. I also like the rigid structure of this. The price on the SOG POWERLOCK is going to be $64. It's similar to the Gerber diesel in that it can be open one-handed. It does have some differences, obviously, and I'll get into those as well, but that's the only similarity. The gears on this is what's known as a force multiplier. So for every 1 pound of force you put on the handles, it multiplies that by 2 for the force that's applied to what's inside the pliers. I like the fine tip on this. The needle nose on this really adds to the versatility of it, in my opinion. The difference between these pliers and some of the other ones is that right there in the underneath the gears, you got some wire crimpers and strippers. Moving on to the tools that are inside the handle, I have the one that's known as the V cutter. So I'll show you what that is. So this is instead of a pair of scissors. So you can get a variant that has a pair of scissors on it as well. But if you get the scissors, then you lose this tool. And this basically allows you to cut through paracord, nylon webbing, things of that nature. I will say that one of the cons, though, is that, and it's working now, of course, now that it's on camera, but a lot of times this does not work, and as you can see, and that this is probably the worst lockup design for what's on the table, excluding ones that are slip joint, of course. So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, it is going to take a little bit longer to get to these tools than it is going to be compared to some of the other tools that are on the table. So kind of keep that in mind, because you have to move the handle guard out of the way and then moving it back into place just to use some of these other tools. So if you're looking for a good pair of pliers, this is where I would go. And if everything else is secondary, maybe this would be a good option for you. So I guess it would be similar to the diesel in that case as well. It also has a bit driver, and these tools, they kind of clump together. So you just got to keep in mind that these are priced differently. and there are a reason for that. So we have a flathead, we got a bottle opener, we also have a combo edge knife, and those are all the different tools that are on that side. Moving on to the other side, and you're going to need to have, it probably doesn't work too well with gloves, just so you know. You kind of have to have your fingernail to be able to open that. So on this side we have a nail file, as well as a can opener, and we also got a flathead right there, Phillips head, and another flathead. We have an awl, which is always nice, and the saw. So those are all the tools that are inside the SOG POWERLOCK. We also have a ruler on the outside as well, and it does both metric system as well as imperial United States standard measurement system. Okay, so that's everything that's inside of the SOG POWERLOCK. Moving on to the next one is going to be one that's a little bit more pricey. This is for someone who maybe you're just willing to go all in when it comes to multi-tools, but a lot of people, if they already have a multi-tool, they'll upgrade to this. So just kind of keep that in mind. The sheath on this is one of my favorite sheaths. It might not be as sturdy or as long lasting as some of the other sheaths, but the versatility on this is great. You guys can see some of my pocket dump videos, and you see all the different uses for the different pockets on this. Here it has some bit drivers that came included in mine, and the bottom is the last thing I want to talk about. It doesn't have any sort of clip or anything. It just has that belt loop. The bottom I like because if you're using your multi-tool, which you're buying this in plans of doing, if you just want to just kind of put it down for a second, you can do that. And then so you just wanted to free up your hand for whatever reason, you can put it right back in there and then take it back out, and you're good to go. The only difference, I guess there's several differences between this and the Leatherman Wave, which will be the next one I talk about, is the construction materials used and the handles, this is the Charge TTI, which means that it has titanium handles, which kind of increases the cost. The cost being $154. This variant, I got at Cabela's, is $170. This was a gift from my wife. So I was kind of surprised that she loved me that much. Anyways, some of the tools on this has a crimper right in the pliers. The other differences being some of the tools used and some of the materials used. So we covered the titanium handles. It also has S30V steel for this plain edge blade. S30V, as some of y'all know, is a super steel, and there's also a gut hook in this Leatherman Charge. So this is the only differences between this and the Leatherman Wave. So let's just go ahead and talk about the Leatherman Wave, seeing how it's Leatherman's best-selling multi-tool, as well as one of the probably the best-selling multi-tool on the market, I'm assuming. So as you can see, I have two of these, so that kind of gives you an indicator of how well received this has been in my family. So here are the different tools. So the differences between the serrated one and the plain edge is just the top, so it does help you be able to tell, it got jimping, so that means it has serrations. And then the plain edge has nothing, so this is the plain edge version. So it's pretty cool, cool thing to know. We also have a saw blade, as well as a fine edge and flat or a coarse nail file, and this also can be used for some grooving as well. And these lock out with these liner locks. Okay, so let's move on to the tools themselves. One of the tools that's really easy to get to, I really like how easy it is to get to the flathead and Phillips head bit driver, and you can switch these out with the other drivers that you'll sell on that sheath over there. And to disengage that, you just put your thumb down and it will disengage that lock. Here we have a both a bottle opener and a can opener, as well as a wire stripper. On this side we have a few tools, and we have the pair of scissors, which is a pretty good pair of scissors. It's not the biggest pair of scissors, I'll show you that in a little bit. We have a eyeglass kit, but basically you pull this out and put it back in, and you got a Phillips head and a flathead, little mini screwdriver. And then the other item is just a big flathead. So personally I have never used this, but I think it would be good to switch that out with something like an awl, personally. The last thing that I think that Leatherman could improve on is the fact that it can pinch your palm. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're using these wire clippers. Whenever they finally go, whenever they finally give, it can really pinch your skin, cause a blood blister. So just kind of keep that in mind. Oh, one other thing, it does have a ruler. It is pretty useful to use. I'm not going to really show how that uses. I don't want to take up too much of your time. The price on this is going to be $85. Moving on to the next Leatherman, and so those ones were all the large size. So these next ones are going to be a medium. This is a Leatherman Skeletool. This is going to be like the name implies, a skeletonized version of a multi-tool. This is there's a lot of neat features though, and I think it does some things better than some of the other Leathermans and some of the other multi-tools. The knife blade on this is my by far my favorite. It has a liner lockup, just like a folding knife. The fact that this is 5 ounces it means that it's lighter than some of my dedicated folding knives. So I think that's pretty cool. I like the pocket clip being on this side of it, because it fits into the pocket better in my opinion than the Leatherman Wingman. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like this pocket clip can move. Anyways, the bottle opener on this is better than the other bottle openers from the other multi-tools. I'd say one of the things that it doesn't do as well though is the screwdriver. This does have a lot of bits. It has 4 bits, so the way that the bits move is that you compress right there, and you can just switch it out. So it has 2 Phillips heads, and then it also has 2 flatheads. All you got to do is just press right there, and then you can switch it out with the flathead sizes. And the ergonomics on this is going to be is better, I think, than even the Leatherman Wave. As you can see from my complaints from the Leatherman Wave, the wire, the pliers are just like the other ones. What you're losing out on is pair of scissors, as well as other screwdriver heads. But you can switch them out. You can use the other bit drivers that are in the other ones, and the bit driver sets. But you're also losing out on things like saws and nail files. But I don't know, if that's something that you need, maybe this isn't the best tool for you. But for me, for my everyday carry, this fits my needs perfectly. Last thing to mention on the Leatherman Skeletool is that the price is $39. Also, the little carabiner clip makes it great for clipping to your backpack or whatnot. Moving on to the Leatherman Juice. This one's going to be closer to $50. This is the Juice S2. There's a newer variant of the S2. I can't find this particular variant anymore, but I'll leave a link for the newer one in the description box. Here's the pen knife. That's the only tool on that side. The tools on this side is actually some of my favorite tools for any of the multi-tools. Here we have, it's a compromise, but the bottle opener and the can opener work really well. And the scissors are the best scissors. Oops, I'm going to cut myself. I'm going to cut myself on the best scissors. Look at the size of these scissors compared to its bigger brother, the Leatherman Wave. Real quick. See the size difference between the two? So this one is much bigger, and in my opinion, it's better. So So there's that. You do have to move the bottle opener / can opener to get to it, but that's not a big deal. Alright, so the pliers, very similar to some of the other ones. Once again, this is going to be a little bit smaller than the other pliers that are out there, just because of the form factor. You got to keep in mind that form factor, when it comes to the medium, and especially the micro keychain sized ones, there's even more compromises because you're getting a smaller size. So different size flathead screwdrivers, and on this side we have a lanyard hole as well as a three-dimensional Phillips head. So I really like the Phillips heads that aren't 2D. Alright, so that is the Leatherman juice. One of the best bangs for the buck and for the size. Moving on to the smaller variants. This is going to be similar, at least in form factor, to the Leatherman Skeletal, and the one that I'm going to be talking about after this one is going to be similar to the Leatherman Juice, in my opinion anyways. So these are spring loaded, as you can see. And what else was I going to say? The price on this is $20. It also is TSA approved, so you can bring these guys through a security checkpoint. Urban Prepper did a video where he did that. I'll leave a link for his channel below. So here's the scissors. Not the best, but you know, it's for the size, it's certainly not the worst. The bottle opener does work. It's just, you know, once again, it's not going to be as good as one that's bigger. And it also has a nail file right here and a little flathead. I would say that the biggest drawback for this is the pair of tweezers. It's hard to get in and out of there. In fact, sometimes it takes several minutes to get it back into this little slot. The pliers are workable, but you're not going to want to cut anything heavy duty on this. But this would just be great to kind of put in your backpack or put in your keychain. Moving on to the Leatherman Squirt PS4. The price on this is going to be $29, so it's actually a little bit more than the one that I just showed you, but it has more features as well. So it does have a knife. I will say that this is, out of all of these, my wife said that she wanted this one after I was done filming this, so I'll be giving this to her afterwards. I already have other tools that I would want to include in my keychain and my everyday carry, but it just kind of goes to show you that some of these tools are tools that, you know, maybe they might appeal to you a little bit more than they appeal to me. So that's why I don't like saying what the best multi-tool is, because there really is no one best multi-tool. It's whatever it is that you're interested in purchasing. So I just showed you guys all of the different tools on this. It's also spring-loaded. I think it's pretty self-explanatory if you've watched this whole video what those different tools are. And that yes, this is going to be a little bit of a compromise because of the form factor. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll be sure to leave links for all these products in the description box down below. If you have any questions or you'd like me to compare one thing to another, something I didn't cover in the video, be sure to leave that in the comment section down below also. If you like things like Swiss Army knives, more so than multi-tools, be sure to check out my video on what I believe the top 5 Swiss Army knives are out there. I just believe that multi-tools are, if you're going to use that word, they're going to revolve around a pair of pliers. So that's just my definition. Maybe yours is different. Anyways, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. All those things that YouTubers are always saying, it really does help us out a lot. Y'all be sure to stay safe out there, and remember, it pays to be prepared. God bless.